Well, speaking of rewinding time, one of my Vlad TV YouTube members, Nobled45, brought up something interesting I didn't know about. You and Tommy Hill from Ram Squad had like some issues back in the day.
Yeah.
And I guess Tommy Hill was also dissing Beanie Sigel around the same time. And I remember when I interviewed Joey Merlino, who is the rumored mob boss of Philly, we talked about how he actually, I guess, invested in Tommy Hill, the whole Ram Squad thing to try to get the music going.
Yeah.
But Tommy's story is kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Tommy was a made guy. He was like a person people looked up to at first.
So was he a mafia guy?
I used to be with him though. He wasn't a mafia guy because he black, but he used to be with him. I mean, that was like they used to be together. I mean, they had billboards up and everything. They was doing anything just before State Property even came out.
Let me tell you, like last year, I think it was last year, I didn't really even know what I was walking into, but this Joey Merlino interview, when I did it, it went crazy.
Joey Merlino was you gotta remember, he was a guy that was a mob boss in football, alleged, whatever.
Alleged.
I mean, but
so you knew about Joey Merlino?
Everybody fully knew about him.
Everybody knew about Joey Merlino.
Yes. It's almost like John Gotti in New York.
So he was a John Gotti of Philly.
Yes, and on the
well,
news.
Actually, I even brought that up. I mean, basically, he was like the Teflon Don,
when
basically.
We used to see him back in the day, like, oh, that's just.
And he was always fresh, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
The black bands, you know, they like a mob person off the TV, you know what I mean? Had
He
baseball
really
games,
is.
but he messed with a lot of black people, you know what I mean? So like, people, he was young. He was like in his 20s or something when he was like the boss.
Really?
Yeah, so like he was like, for a kid like me when I was growing up, Joey Merlino was like a John Gotti from Philly.
You would see him around?
Yeah, I see him. He'd be outside. He'd be out like
he was outside like that.
I seen him about 5 times. I seen him at a baseball game. He used to have his little baseball games. He used to have. I seen him on South Street a lot of times. He's South Philly boy, like I mean, but he'd be out in the mix. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I did his first interview ever.
Yeah, he was in jail for a while too. He was in jail for.
Yeah, no, he was in and out. He would get out and he'd be like associating with like other mob affiliates and they'd send him back in.
He stayed on the news like how John Gotti used to be on the news out here. He was on the news.
He was really like that.
Yeah, reputed mobster, mob boss. Yeah, they say that on this joint every time. Yeah.
He denied everything in the interview.
He supposed to.
I'll bring up the mafia. He's like, I don't know anything about the mafia.
Yeah, you watch Sopranos, you know.
Oh yeah, no man. He was like, I felt like out of all the mob guys I've interviewed in my whole life, and we're probably talking about over 100 of them, I felt like he was the most serious.
He looked like a mobster too, don't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I never met him personally, like talk to him, and I just know. If you're from Philly,
I got his phone number.
And you're a certain age, you know Joey Merlino. You know who Joey Merlino is.
So Tommy Hill was running with Joey Merlino in a certain type of way.
Yeah.
And Joey Merlino was putting money behind him. That's where the billboards came.
Yeah, late 90s.
But Tommy Hill also was labeled as a rat.
Yeah.
Because he testified against a bunch of drug dealers.
I don't know exactly who he testified against, but they said he told him somebody. I think he was in prison with or something like that.
Joey Merlino hates rats.
Yeah.
All through the interview.
That's because most people in the mob get their time from somebody telling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why would Joey Merlino work with a guy?
This was before that.
Oh.
That happened later.
Oh, that happened later.
Yeah, that happened later. Way later.
Okay.
Like years and years and years later. No, he wasn't like that was years later. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because Tommy Hill at one point was a drug dealer himself.
Yeah.
He went to prison for 2 years, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then in 2011, he was leaving a bar.
Yeah.
You know the story?
Yeah. Everybody fully know the story.
So he was leaving a bar. He didn't pay his tab, I guess accidentally.
Yeah, I don't know what happened exactly down at the bar.
Yeah, so he was at a bar. He left without paying his tab. So the manager followed him outside. He was like, yo, you owe some money. So as Tommy Hill was pulling his money out to pay him, 3 guys approached him and they started to rob him.
Yeah, I heard it was something like that.
No, I found the article about it. So 3 guys approached him and said, this is a robbery. So the manager backed away and he saw at least one of the dudes had a gun on him. So as the 2 dudes were going through Tommy Hill's pockets, a shot goes off. So then the manager and one of the other employees had guns on him as well, so a shootout occurred. Yeah. And when the dust settled, Tommy Hill was dead.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Yeah, that was real unfortunate. I mean, I heard about that. I know exactly when that was going on because we had like a little, we was going through like a little disagreement at the time. You know what I mean?
What was the issue?
Just, I mean, well, he had said something on the radio about some female rappers in Philly. Like, because I told you I should look up to him. I know him like personally. So I called him like, yo, why you said it about, the girls from Philly that rap? And he starts, you can't fucking check me, this, that, and start snapping on me. We start arguing. That was the gist of it, yeah, man. So it was just like that, yeah, man. So, because I think we felt, because he was the big guy in Philly for a while. So I feel like when he had that spot number, I feel like he just felt like he wanted to like.
Wait, Tommy Hill's the big guy in Philly?
Yeah, back in the 90s, like late 90s. Yeah, he was.
Wait.
He's a major guy, bro.
Wait.
If you're from Philly, as far as getting money, as far as like stunting and he rap, of course, they had like 2 songs.
Okay, so yeah, rap-wise, I never heard of him.
I remember they had 2 songs in Philly, right? This before this in the late 90s. Philly had no rappers yet, really, besides, Will Smith and shit like that.
Wait, hold on.
Like Tough Crew, we had, I'm talking about...
Steady B.
Yeah, that's the 80s, though.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So now you're talking about like 96, right?
Well, but I mean, Beanie Sigel...
He wasn't out 96. And then he didn't exist in 96 at all.
Oh, really?
No, at all. So that's what I'm saying. Ram Squad was it at the time. They were the top. I mean, then they was doing it big though. That.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Beanie's first album was 2000.
Yeah, they was doing it big. I'm talking about. So Ram Squad was like that's who tape we had when we was in school. That's what we listened to. They had like 2 songs that was hits for the city. Yeah, I remember back then. We don't know what New York and what Baltimore doing. Ain't no internet and all that. Whatever's going on in your city, that's what you know.
Okay.
And Ram Squad was popping. I mean, so then they got the look. Got the cars, they got the jury. I mean, he had everything. So, as a kid that's trying to rap, like, yo, that's who you looked up to. You know what I mean?
Okay, so what was the problem between Tommy Hill and Beanie Sigel?
I don't really know. I just, like I said, I think he wanted to be the big guy, like he used to be, and just feel like, people took that spot and he just didn't like it. I mean, so he just came, because Tommy was known as a street person. I mean, he was like a person that people, not only did he rap, he had everything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's unfortunate that they went out like that because he was like, but he was doing it young too. He was real young doing it. So like it was like a person you looked up to. I mean, so it was unfortunate, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I read the articles, like people were saying that was a hit.
Probably so.
It wasn't just a random robbery.
Yeah, probably
it was actually a hit.
Probably so.
Yeah. Like it was,
because once you cooperate with the people, like you never know what's going to happen. You got to remember, if you put somebody in prison or whatever, I mean, so like at that point, you taking somebody's freedom away from them, you taking whatever they don't. I mean, they liable to do anything. At that point, especially if they're in jail already, because you can get a hit done from in jail. So like, that's why the whole thing about that stuff, man, if you do something, you got to just do the time for it.
Yeah.
That's it.